Cool. I'm sure that many of you have had trouble converting from one unit to another at some point in your lives. It may have been for a homework assignment, or a personal matter that you wanted to settle, or whatever. I'm sure that, at any rate though, you felt that it was trivial and annoying. According to the U.S. Metric Association, these are all the countries that have switched over to the metric system officially. It started in France in 1795, and our most recent addition was Jamaica in 1998. And according to Wikimedia, there are only 3 countries that have not switched over officially. They include Myanmar, Liberia, and the United States. And according to the CIA Factbook, the United States is the only industrialized nation that has not officially switched over. The metric system is obviously official for 95% of the world, and I feel that it's time for us to jump on that bandwagon as well. I'm concerned about this issue because in my future career field, and I'm sure many of yours, switching over to one system of measurements will be much easier, will reduce stress and errors in the workplace, and ultimately increase profit. And not only that, but also it affects us globally, and every other country that chooses to interact with us is affected by our system of measurements as well. So by switching over, we'll undoubtedly come closer to globalization. So now that you know my stance on this issue, I'd like to give you a few examples on it. According to the U.S. Metric Conversion Act of 1975, world trade is increasingly geared towards the metric system of measurement. Industry in the United States is often at a competitive disadvantage while dealing in international relations because of its non-standard units measurement system. Now this was in 1975. Just think of how much more metrified all manufacturing and international relations are 35 years later. I think it would be a lot higher. This affects not only scientists, engineers, people in the medical and manufacturing field, but the entire globe, and everyone as well. A prime example of this is the Mars orbiter and a $327 million project lost because the subcontractor used English units instead of metrics. And according to NASA.gov, the peer-reviewed preliminary findings indicate that one team used English units, inches, feet, pounds, while the other used metric units for key spacecraft operation. This information was critical to the maneuvers required to place the spacecraft in the proper Mars orbit. And what actually happened was it was supposed to be at 150 kilometers above the planet, and it ended up being 63. So it's a large difference, and it was obviously burnt up and lost in the atmosphere. And I don't think that subcontractor was contacted again for the job. And also, it affects other countries as well. And according to a comment on the website dig.com, one user wrote,